Oh, friends, what is up? Look at my Christmas shirt. Look at my Christmas shirt. Does my wife know me or what? I swear. It's good to marry someone who knows you. I tell you what. Friends, how you going? How you doing? How you doing? It's Christmas week. It's Friday. The market's over. Let's talk about what's going on here. Listen. Wow. Palantir and BigBear, two completely different companies when we talk about market cap, earnings, everything, future, one guaranteed, one, I don't know. But they're two stocks that I invest in heavily, and one that I feel really comfortable with, especially position, everything, and then one that I'm like, we're gonna take a chance. So let's talk about BigBear first here, real fast. And I've given my thesis of what I think of BigBear and the future of what it can possibly be, but the thing is with BigBear here, I'm a buyer of it. I'm trusting that this company will continue to push and get into some decent revenue here in the future, and then that's a lot what I'm pushing into. And the thought right now with BigBear, a lot of stuff is changing here with BigBear. A lot of things, you're starting to see these articles come out now. Is BigBear the next big Reddit sensation? SoundHound versus BigBear, and BigBear.ai game changer. So not that articles will make a stock go crazy or lead the way for it, but there is this sense in the air right now that people are paying more attention to what's going over here on BigBear.ai. And obviously, when we look at earnings right here, BigBear has been struggling with earnings. There's no secret about it. 2024 here, not a great year with BigBear in their earnings. But as of late, they have been capturing some decent deals. They've been capturing some deals, especially one from the government, and we're hoping that continues here. We're hoping here. So right now with BigBear, it's a risk. It's a gamble. I want to get in before things maybe get a little too toasty over here, and I want to get in right now before things get really crazy over here. So that's what I'm doing personally. Now with BigBear here, back up to some really nice numbers here. And, my whole argument right now with BigBear is if BigBear here in 2025 can at least hold a $4 to $6 price range somewhere in that most of the year, I'll be happy as can be. Okay. What I want BigBear to really focus on this year is pay off debt and get some more big deals here. And government contract deals would be a game changer. I mean, they would be great because a lot of times, even like Palantir, when they get these government contracts, they're not just for like 6 months, a year. They're like a 4 to 5 year contract with millions of dollars every few months, okay, or just like a lump sum. So those are the ones that are just like bringing in money, and there's always multiplication of those deals. So right now with BigBear, you need to know that it's not a guaranteed win. It's a risk right now, and obviously there's hype, there's sensation around BigBear. It's good, it's great. I think a lot more people are talking about it right now, and that's why it's getting attention. That's why investors are buying up what they can here, because I would say that BigBear is definitely finding a more expensive zone here. There's no doubt about that as it's running up here. But on a bad day, BigBear, yes, will probably trail back to a $2.50 zone to $3 easily. That's a guarantee. And those are the ranges right there where personally I'm buying BigBear right there. We got SoundHound over here who's just running like crazy. 6 months ago, SoundHound, who was struggling a little bit in quarterlies, was not getting a lot of love when it comes to the papers here, as we'll say, and was struggling to hold a $2 to $4 position. Now SoundHound is being praised, that's going to be the stock, the company of the year, and it's running at a $25 more position right now. So in their last quarterlies that came out were good, and the next ones that are coming out we're expecting to be really good, or if not better, because of deals they've been capturing. So things can flip-flop that fast in a company's lifespan. I mean, just like overnight, something can happen like that. And for me personally, that's the big thing right now with Big Bear, where I made that move SoundHound. I was on here preaching about SoundHound, 4 or 5 months ago when it was that cheap. And I'm kind of getting that smell and that feeling with Big Bear too, with that like something could happen here. And when they got that one government contract, I was like, all right, that's kind of a telltale sign something more could pick up here. But there's no guarantee. There's just no guarantee that's going to work. So please don't put your money into Big Bear if you don't have money to spend on it. I would direct your funds somewhere else that will definitely keep your money safe. If you're looking for risk, you're looking for a gamble, if you're looking for a nail biter, up and down, very volatile stock, Big Bear might be for you, okay? But Big Bear's gonna have a big year ahead of it with trying to get some things rolling here, get some debt paid off, get some big deals, and just keep a good stock price position. I'm not looking for Big Bear to go to a $20 to $30 stock here. I'm not expecting that. There's no evidence to lead us in that direction right now, unless Reddit were just completely take over the stock and push it up. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I'm not even banking on that. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Big Bear here to become a really financially really good company. But I'm being an investor is a lot like being a detective. You got to really start to look at stuff, and sometimes the crime scene, if you will, it's not all the evidence is there, and you got to start to piece things together and start pick up breadcrumbs where it stops here. And Big Bear it's just, as we see these deals start to get a little more thick here, the progression in the stock price, what's the aroma out there? What are people saying about it? Go to chat rooms with any stock. What are people saying about it? What are people noticing about it that you're not noticing about it? And me personally, I'm getting this sense right now that Big Bear is going to have a decent year here in 2025. That's what I'm hoping here, at least. So that's my argument right now with Big Bear. And like I said, please don't put your money in Big Bear just because I'm yapping about it. There are far more lucrative opportunities out here where you're guaranteed your money to go up. Big Bear is just, it's a shot in the dark at this moment with what we know, okay? And I know people come on there and because I read it and people are like, why do you say such bad things about Big Bear? I'm not trying to say bad things about Big Bear, but I don't want to be one of these people on YouTube with a lot of people watching, for me, I think, being like, this is the next thing, you need to put all your money. I don't want to say that at all, because I've been in the market far too long to know that this could go south real fast, okay? Big Bear, they could completely do the opposite in 2025. They could come out with more bad quarterlies. They could lose deals. They could, they could go into some really bad debt. They could really just do nothing all year, that nothing more could happen. So I'm well aware of that. So that's why I say, if you're looking for chance, if you have capital just laying around, you're like, I want to put this somewhere, take a risk. Yeah, Big Bear might be that opportunity for you. It might be that situation. It's hard for me to say that because I was buying Big Bear, a month or two ago, like 2 months ago, when Big Bear was like at $1.70, $2, and now Big Bear's starting to get a little more tension run here. And, this is where we're at right now with it. But like I said, on a bad day, I expect Big Bear to have a volatile day where it will easily go back to $3 to $2. I think it's going to just teeter-totter here for a while as it's getting to this next quarterly, finding a position, and people are just kind of shifting it around right now. Friends, let's talk about Palantir. So Palantir, if you're in the Palantir cult, I'm right there with you. I'm Palantir. I'm right there with you. We're all drinking the juice on Palantir, and I look at where we're at. Okay, Palantir's doing what it always does. It went, it goes to 40, starts chipping away at 40. Goes to 50, it starts chipping away at 50. Goes to 60, starts chipping away at 60. Goes to 70, starts chipping away at 70. Gets to 80 here, we're seeing it chip away. Okay, now the interesting part about Palantir is that Palantir, when it gets to these new ranges, it's always because of a new deal, a new situation, the S&P inclusion, the NASDAQ inclusion, that NASDAQ 100 inclusion, government contract deal, a random deal over here. Alex Karp gives the interview, really getting people excited. So we've had that like every 30 days with Palantir, something massive has happened. The quarterlies that they just came out with, massive quarterlies, and that really just, the build up until the last quarterlies was the build up to really just keep what was built, and now we're building into the next quarterlies. That's what's happening here. So as Palantir is pricing in the next quarterlies here, which we're probably going to 100 here, more than likely, we're chipping away at 80. So I would not be surprised within the next 3 to 4 weeks, something else will happen here. I mean, it happens every 30 days. So why is it going to stop at this point? We're going to see just things be released. Palantir is going to get more deals. Palantir is going to get business somewhere. Alex Karp's going to give an interview. There's just going to be more things happening here with Palantir. And that's, I think Palantir, I said this last time I talked about Palantir, in Palantir, I'm not the first one to say this, so like I'm not trying to take credit here, but Palantir somewhat, it potentially could have a year, 2025 here, like Oracle had in 2024 here, where at the start of 2024, Oracle was right over $100 stock. And then as people were going, well, Oracle can't go that much further. I mean, Oracle, it's hit a point here. Well, Oracle had a banging year. Oracle is ending the year at almost $200, okay? If not more, but it's probably going to end right under $200. Palantir, we still can make it. We got a few days here. We'll see what happens, but can Palantir make it to $90? I don't know. That might be pushing it, but 85 to end out the year. That's quite a growth rate right there. That's pretty impressive. So with Palantir here, I expect to see more good news here soon. Okay, and we're getting greedy here. I completely know investors. We're getting greedy. We are greedy right now because we're like, all right, we want some more news. We want more. So Palantir is the stock that I would direct someone to buy if you're unsure. If you're like, I want my money to be safe. Palantir is that stock that's going to continue to have an amazing year. Okay, Oracle, like I was saying, Oracle from 100, it just grew. I think Palantir, once we get to 100, it's probably going to repeat that process. You'll notice the longer you're in the market, and when you have a company that's doing very well, it's achieving a massive amount of business and growth economically where it's at with customer basis. Palantir here is already in a situation where it's going to find new levels of growth and new investors. So with that, Palantir more than likely is going to 100 here very soon, and it will continue to grow all of 2025. I fully expect that 100%. So be prepared to see a lot of growth here in 2025 with Palantir. I don't think anybody's going to stop it at this point. It's coming here regardless. So that's really my speech about Palantir. So friends, Friday here, getting into this new year, all the stocks we talked about, Palantir, SoFi, Nvidia, SoundHound, BigBear.ai, even Trump Media, completely something random right there. I'm going to talk about a lot of more different stocks this year. Obviously quantum computing stocks are getting a lot of attention right now, and they've like these quantum computing stocks right now that I've talked about have almost like separated themselves from these tech stocks that we've been talking about, like Palantir, Nvidia, and obviously there's all these different little spots in tech AI, but right now the quantum computing stocks are just like their own little muscle group, and they're just making their way into some new unbelievable price points here. And I've talked about a few, but obviously like D-Wave, quantum computing itself, stock, there's more in there, but they're definitely something that they have a place here in the future, and they are, a lot of them undoubtedly are somewhat like a SoundHound, where the market cap does not represent what the stock price is, where they're just being pushed and ran up to crazy amounts, a crazy amount of money for stock share compared to what they should be fundamentally with earnings. But they're capturing so many deals. They're capturing so much future revenue that's coming into these future earnings. That's why they're growing at a massive rate. So it's a very interesting situation what's going on with these quantum computing stocks right now. You definitely need to look at what's going on over there, because it could get crazy very fast here. Friends, I will talk to you soon. Take care of yourself once again, and talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.